everyone, welcome back to another Indie Spotlight with me, Dewaldo. We're going to look at The Ground Gives Way. And I thought I would try a little bit different of a recording method today, so instead of doing a live commentary while I play, I'm recording the gameplay and the audio tracks separately, and then I'll try and sync them up somehow. So, roll that intro. So, as I said before, this is The Ground Gives Way, and I'm playing version 2, which was released July 12th, 2014. There may be a number of updates by the time you watch this video, so I'll of course have a link to the download in the video description. So this is a game by the developer BTS, and it's a coffee break roguelike, so small, very short gameplay of maybe about 1 hour. Good for a little free time. The developer said that he has drawn some influences from Powder, in that the movement system is cardinal movement, 4 directions, and the control scheme is very simplified, very easy to use, and friendly. It also draws a lot of influence from Castlevania, in that how items interact with your character and the drops from monsters are kind of Castlevania-esque. So, let's take a look at some features. Alright, as you've probably noticed, one of the features that I am very happy and excited for, I really love this UI. I like integrated menu systems in roguelikes. They give a lot of information and kind of seamlessly just add to the quality of the game. As well, there is an aesthetic of simplicity in this game. There are 4 basic keys. You've got your movement keys, your spacebar to interact with things, your menu, and your inventory. That's all you need to know. And basically, that's all roguelike games need to have. Having tons and tons of keys to map and memorize is confusing and dumb. So, simplified control schemes, definite plus. The control schemes are simplified and minimalist. It's very easy to learn, but it's still challenging. The gameplay is incredibly varied. There are lots of items and lots of monsters, and in the end it can be quite challenging too. It has what I guess I call a roguelike system of improvement through items instead of leveling, which I really love this aesthetic. You have to make a choice about what you want to equip and how you want to build and play your character, and it changes through every single gameplay. Another note on the equipment, it's non-trivial. So it's not just find the bigger, badder sword and equip that. Every weapon and item and armor has benefits as well as drawbacks, and that goes a long way to how you want to play the character and how you want to build the character. So you might find better armor, but are you going to risk the noise penalty? Do you want to wake up those monsters or just sneak past them? So I love item systems like that. So let's take a look at some improvements. One thing that can be irksome to some gamers, some of the games of The Ground Gives Way are unwinnable by sheer random chance. Sometimes water or lava will block a route that you need, or you'll encounter challenging monsters before you have means to really kill them. So, approach it with a mind like, okay, this is a game of solitaire, I don't need to win every single game, I can just play, be zen, everything will be cool. Another thing is cardinal movement systems. There's a lot of debate with roguelike gamers, having only 4 directions or having all of the directions, diagonals as well. I don't mind. I play a lot of roguelike games like their cardinal movement, even when they're not, which is a little bit silly. Also, on the topic of UI, I love the combat animations. When you hit a monster, you get a little indication whether you miss or whether you do damage, which is much better than scrolling through combat logs. But it can get a little bit tedious, especially if you're missing often or the enemy is missing often. It does get a little bit tedious. There's also no rest key. So they say in the tutorial, if you press R, your character will rest. And this hasn't been implemented yet, as I've seen. And I don't do a lot of resting in the video as you see going on behind you. I just kind of want to move through as fast as I can. And resting's a good idea. And the only way to really do that, I found, is to just mash the spacebar a bunch. Which can... I don't know. It would be good to have a rest key. And the last little nitpicky point I'm going to make, the flavor is a little bit lacking. The intro to the game I found really cool. It was really tongue-in-cheek. The ground gives way, you fall in, and you determine that, okay, the best way to get through this dungeon is to get to the bottom, because everyone knows there's a big shiny MacGuffin there. So I thought it was going to be a very tongue-in-cheek roguelike and kind of silly and funny, but once you get into the gameplay, the flavor is basically what most roguelikes are. Accumulate items, fight through the dungeon, you can do it. Final words. The Ground Gives Way is totally worth checking out. It's a wonderful new game and a great new addition to the roguelike community. It adopts the very new roguelike aesthetic of less is more. So stripping away all the grindy and tedious elements of gameplay in favor of a fast-paced, highly varied play experience. It's relatively young, and it seems that development is occurring at a fairly constant pace. And it has something to offer for both new and veteran roguelike players. It's easy to learn and easy to pick up, but hard to master. So it has something to offer for everyone. Definitely check this out. Get onto the Temple of the Roguelike forums. Leave some comments for the developer. Leave some comments in the development blog. And of course, I'll have links to all of those things in the description. Play happy. Have fun. Take care.